What's up? It's another wealthy day in the neighborhood. Thank you guys so much for choosing to be my wealthy neighbors, man. Welcome. Thank you. Hello. It's such an exciting day. Such an exciting day. Welcome to another episode of Wealth Talk TV, episode 5. Praise God for 5. Y'all know what that 5 mean, right? Get that 5 up in your life. Get more grace. Get more mercy up in your life, man. Uh, if you guys know anything about me, or if you've been watching with me or rocking with me for a while, you know I'm definitely a spiritual being. I definitely believe in the importance of faith. Faith saved my life, bro. Faith has kept me thus far. Faith is going to continue to take me to the next level. And one of the individuals that I think that can best share their experience about faith is Nick. I am human. When it comes down to like the day-to-day life, the wealth journey, just going through your process of operating in your divine call, getting to the place of your purpose, figuring out what your purpose is, figuring out exactly how you're going to be able to fulfill that purpose. It has best suited me with dealing with my pain or my ministry by being faithful, as well as having a faith and a belief that this life of mine is not just for me. The things that I experience, the things that I go through is not just for me. And today we're actually going to have a candid conversation with Nick. I am human, talking about all the things that we typically talk about, which are purpose, adversity, what does legacy look like, what does wealth look like, but most importantly, discussing the importance of faith and how it has benefited Nick. I am human thus far. So I hope that you guys enjoy this episode. Hello, how you
Hello,
doing?
I am doing more than well. How are you?
I'm feeling wealthy. I'm feeling very wealthy today.
That is excellent.
How are you feeling today? You feeling good?
Yes, today is a beautiful day. It's a grand day, and I just feel blessed to be alive. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
from time to time we take it for granted, but somebody didn't make it today, so that is a
Right.
blessing.
Right. You already going to church and we ain't even started yet. I feel it.
Yes, Lord, yes. Won't He do it, Jesus? Hallelujah. Can we get Baptist on them?
Thank you. I'm a Pentecostal apostolic.
Okay.
Yeah. So since we already pretty much got started, go ahead and tell the people your name and what's your purpose.
All right. So my name is Nick. Hola, ¿cómo está? And basically, my purpose in life literally is to grow um, myself first and then give. Um, I like to use the analogy that we often get when we, take our airplane ride when they tell us, put your safety mask on first. And to be honest, if our safety mask on first, we're not even alive to help anybody else. So my first thought, my first purpose is to take care of self so that I can give. I grew up in Compton, California, right on the cusp of Compton and Los Angeles, and I saw a gap of learning. In a hood, we already know that our education system is not the best. And I just, at the time, my friend, we was in the same exact grade, and she didn't even have a book. And here I am going to school in Woodland Hills, and I have a take home book and I have a class book, and I really didn't understand the purpose of, it didn't make sense to me why if you were from Compton or Watts, you would get a lower level of education. But if you just went up the street or you just went 10 miles north, you know what I'm saying? Your whole, academics was going to be 12 times better. And because of that, I am a college graduate. So my purpose is to give back to my community something that, when I was there, they didn't have it. I don't know if they have it today, but it's really to bring up the low income societies and communities so that one day we don't have to, we can have all our resources. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was thinking about Jaden Smith, how he even got to Just Water. If he didn't come from a level of wealth, he wouldn't even have no budget to be connected to people for Just Water.
Right, right, right,
But if we all had those same resources, if we had a different, upbringing, if we had a different family structure, if we had different resources, if we had better resources, um, at that point, maybe, we can be better off as African Americans. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's man, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. So, how did you go about finding your purpose? Was it what exactly was the first step to you knowing that growing and giving was what you needed to do?
You know what? I would say that God is the first step for me. God is a loving God, and I no longer live my life trying to put the pieces together for myself when I know that this is way bigger than me. So, I used to live thinking that I was the almighty and I could conquer all of my challenges. And then I realized, through challenge, I couldn't do none of that. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that I had to go back to my roots and understand that, God will, he already said that, he's going to fight our battles. So I would say my first step is now getting on my knees and pray. You know what I'm saying? And ask God to lead and order my steps, because I know I don't have the strength to do it. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, my strength comes from the Lord. So, that's my current first step to my purpose, is allowing God to lead me.
Awesome, awesome. That's man. What was your routine before you got started today? What did you do today?
One of the things that I'm trying, now that you said that, I'm trying to think about what I did. The first thing I did this morning, which is a special, and I listened to, it was a meditation, and it was to remove negative energy. That was the
Mm,
name of it. So I
mm.
listened to a meditation, and it was to remove any negative energy that I had. And then I fell asleep with that, woke back up to that. So it was like one of those things where it's like, the beginning of my day, started with removing negative energy so that I can be closer and closer to my best self. So I can, listen to my inner voice. When my inner voice says, do X, Y, and Z, I can be mentally there. So that was step one. And then eating, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to feed yourself. So, whether that's through prayer, because the first thing I do, I take that back. Step one for my day is thanking our Father God for
Right.
waking us up, for giving me another chance. And then after that, I did that. That's when I did the meditation. And then I went to sleep and woke back up to that meditation, and then I fed myself.
Right.
What about you?
The first thing that I did when I woke up this morning was I put on worship music and enter into the presence of the Lord. I know it's something about being in His presence that just gives such liberty and peace and a refreshing that makes it a bit easier to take the next step, because your steps have already started with like giving a tithe of your day to God. So that was amazing. Feeling that and just the appreciation for His existence within my life and His manifestation through His works and His hands and His word. And then after that, I did some laundry. I haven't eaten anything yet, just because I'm not hungry at the time. But and then I do a little cannabis, so I elevate a little bit. But yeah, and I think I lit sage, and yeah, thereafter. But that was pretty much the start of my morning. Um, so awesome, awesome, awesome. Bro, you have like a amazing energy. Like I caught you last night on KB's live at the end, and I was like, I gotta tap into that. I gotta connect to that because I believe in divine connections, and then I also believe that we are all spiritual beings, and we all come for a plan and a task, and we all have a purpose for our lives. And for some reason, it just felt like it was the perfect. You were the perfect individual to do next week's episode. So I appreciate you.
Honestly, I appreciate you. And as a matter of fact, I thought I was like it. That had to be God, to be honest, because you know, I to be honest with you, I couldn't have thought of those words to say
Yeah.
if I can be
Yeah.
completely honest.
Right.
But it was one of those things where God put it on my heart to say, keep going, sis. Keep fighting. Don't give up. You know what I'm saying? Because, I do know obstacles.
Right.
So, it's a challenge, you know what I'm saying? When you're dealing with those obstacles, especially, when it's a loss of relationships or broken trust or
Right.
God knows what it is,
Right.
but it's one of
Right.
those things where, it hurts.
Right.
It hurts, and then, if you have a good support system that's saying, hey, come back to your
Right, right,
normal
right, right,
roots.
right, right, right.
You
Get to the alignment, to the foundation.
exactly.
Yeah,
Um,
grounded.
exactly,
Yeah.
because I must say that KB has inspired me, and she gave me a nugget. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And that I didn't even know. God planted that nugget in her to give to
Right,
me. And
right,
when I saw that last night, I needed to give that nugget back to her.
right,
You feel
right,
me? Which
right,
is stay focused. Don't lose sight
right,
of your vision. You know what I mean?
right.
Which is the same thing that we all have to say at some point of our lives
Exactly.
when our bump comes. Because truthfully, you know what I'm saying? We all got a bump. You know what I mean? I definitely,
Exactly.
Lord knows I got a bump. You know what I mean? And that's
Right,
and that's what keep
right.
me on
A
my
thorn.
knees. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
keeps me on my knees praying, and that's just real talk. You
Right.
know?
Yeah, so you definitely came like right on time because I was in complete and utter shock, about it, just because uh just on I've known bro for a long time, and the spirit is like I know the work that has been done on her life, and how God is pushing her forward in a mighty way just because she decided to embrace herself, live in her truth, and be authentic. And
Yeah.
we all, like you said, have that trigger where it's like it's just certain things that you're gonna accept that you're not gonna accept. But so glad that you came in a as family, as brethren in the spirit, to be able to put your hands on and just be like, you know what, forget it, just and forgive it, you know. So that's what's up. So back to the discussion. What were some of the adversities you experienced on the way to this point, and how did you overcome them?
Boy, oh
Oh,
boy.
well, hold on, wait. Did I ask you how you fulfilling your purpose?
No, I don't think
Okay,
so.
okay. Let me ask that first, and then we'll go back to the adversity.
Okay. So
Uh,
what's the question?
so, how are you fulfilling your purpose?
Okay, so that's such a great question. I'm fulfilling my purpose because I in 2020 I for whatever reason I got my 2020 binoculars on. You feel me? I got the 2020
Right,
vision. And
right,
first of all, God laid it on my heart to invest in self. I had been not being myself. I had, I just I was blind. I was completely blind, and I had not invested in myself, and I kept holding myself back and telling myself no. And in
right,
2020, I was like, you know what, Chats with Nick podcast has been my idea that it's my baby, it's my ideas, and I decided I was like, I'm going to begin to invest in self. So I began my first, which was super exciting. This was Chats with Nick podcast was what Chats with Nick podcast is. It's 100% authentically me. What is that? It's me being able to chill with people. I am a talker. I love to talk. I love to inform. I love to educate. I love to laugh, and that's exactly what Chats with Nick podcast is. It's a platform for everyone to be able to showcase any type of art or just have a conversation, talk about adversity, talk about social issues, talk about LGBTQ plus challenges, and God, and if you want to drop your music or your art or your book or God knows what, it is a platform for just that. But you know, specifically, it was me stepping out on my own face, saying that I want to create a platform. I want to be a part of, watching people on their incline, exposing people to new audiences that they had never ever come in contact with. And also just, being in front of the camera. I always wanted to be honest, act. I feel like I'm an entertainer. And sometimes you gotta, I was literally watching and listening to a motivational speaker, and they said sometimes you gotta create your own platform. You steady waiting on Disney to give you an opportunity, create your own table. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes you ain't meant for, red table talk, or
Right.
this show, the Wendy Williams show and Steve Harvey
Right.
show. Sometimes you gotta create your own show.
Right. Right.
And
Starting your own lane.
exactly. So it's nothing wrong with being on all those platforms,
Right.
because they're great platforms. But I'm saying for the beginning, before you even get to
Right.
those large platforms, sometimes you
Right.
got to just invest in yourself.
Despise not small beginnings.
Exactly. So it's like me walking in my purpose is literally choosing me.
Right.
That is I am my own investment. And the fact that I even got to the point where I can say that is a true blessing, because I just gave up on myself so long and so many years, and now I'm saying yes to self. Yes, Nick, you can do it. Yes, Nick, you shall do it. Yes, Nick, you will do it. And and that is really truly my message to everybody. I can, I will, I shall. And once we start moving in that direction, I think we all will be feeling happier about, our lives.
Right, right. Man, amazing, bro. Where are you? I don't even know what city you're in.
So I am in I'm in Virginia Beach, Virginia,
Okay,
but
okay.
I'm from Los Angeles, California. Um, and it's such a great place, I would say, despite all the challenges that were there.
Right,
it,
right,
you know it's a blessing to be there. Real talk.
right.
What about?
I'm in Portland, Oregon, but I'm from Atlanta, Georgia.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Awesome. So, what were some of the adversities you experienced on the way to this point, and how did you overcome them?
What I would say, some of my adversities was just literally, biggest adversities is not having quality people around me. You know what I'm saying? Having naysayers, in my corner, ignoring red signs. When your spirit tells you, you know what I'm saying, like this relationship may not be conducive for you, it's very important that you take a listen. You hone into that. Like, you know what? How do I feel around these people? Are they nourishing? Are they supporting me? Or are they
Right.
hindering me? Because not only did I hinder myself, I was around people
That hit.
who didn't believe in me, who was not trying to
Right.
invest in me, who was not encouraging me.
Right.
So, but I would say today that it's not their fault. You know what I'm saying? Because if I had a lack of self love, you know what I'm saying, I can't blame it on them.
Right. That's what you attracted.
You feel me?
Around, if you have a lack of self love, then the people around you gonna have a lack of self love. It's like being the
Yep.
brokest person in the group. If you're around five broke people, you're gonna be the fifth broke person, or the sixth broke person. So it's the same thing with anything goes. You attract what's within.
Absolutely. And that's exactly where I was. And, I was broken. I was broken. I didn't know myself. And I had no, at the time, I will say, I didn't even know that I probably was in denial. You know what I mean? And I would, and how I really got out of that is, I got therapy.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I decided no longer. First of all, I had to, step one, admitting
Right.
that you have a problem,
Right.
admitting
Right.
that you are struggling, admitting that, you know what, I am feeling X, Y, and Z. I'm feeling low. I'm feeling depressed. I'm feeling embarrassed. I'm feeling frustrated. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even understand that language that I just even said. I didn't even know when I was frustrated. I had no idea to understand how I was feeling. I had no connection to my own feelings.
Right.
So when basically I went, when I got therapy, it was a lot about how to get in touch with myself. That's what my, therapy was about. It was,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know how I was feeling when I was feeling it. And, it was just like, I didn't even know the language. So,
Right.
one of my sessions, she literally gave me a paper with a bunch of vocabulary words,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like, let me know which feelings that you're feeling right now. I didn't even know that I was feeling frustrated. I didn't know I was feeling anger. I didn't know I was feeling embarrassment. I didn't know I was feeling fear. I didn't know I was
Right.
feeling guilt. You know what I'm saying? I
Right.
had no idea. I didn't even know how to confront these emotions and confront these feelings.
Right.
So it was about surrendering.
Mm.
Surrendering to, hey, I need help.
Right.
I'm feeling things that I had no idea I was feeling,
Right.
and I'm uncomfortable. And it took struggle in order me to face the truth, in order for me to realize that, hey, you know what? I need to see the light. I need to see me.
Right.
And it was, I neglected myself for so long
Mm.
that at some point, my innermost self said, I need you. And the broken truth was, when my inner self asked me, are you going to be there for me? I either had to say, yes, I will, or no, I can't.
Wow.
And at some point, the answer was, I can't be there for you right now.
You can't be there for your own self.
That's what I had to. At some point, I couldn't,
Wow.
and that's why I needed therapy.
At so at what point, like, how is it that you got to a place where you can be there for your own self?
That's the thing. I didn't even know I couldn't.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't even know, because I had neglected self. So it was almost like I was invisible. I was invisible to my own self.
Because of self neglect.
Exactly. And that's when I went to therapy
Hmm.
and we began to work on myself. That's when I realized I couldn't be there for myself.
That's crazy. That's real though. That's a lot of times we box ourselves in, attempting to fulfill whatever puzzle piece that we think that we need to fulfill for others, and it you do that for so long, lying to yourself, hiding from yourself, not really conveying how you feel. After a while you just continue to suppress who you are, suppress what you desire, suppress what you think, because you want to fit in, or walk in ease. But to get to a place where you've done that for so many years that you have completely, like, you're so inexistent that you can't be there for yourself, is crazy. That does take therapy. That does take time, and someone assisting you, uh with just taking things to getting yourself out, at least getting yourself back. you know how would you say that, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, how close, or one meaning like complete self-neglect, 10 being like in total fulfillment of yourself, or satisfaction of yourself, what number would you say that you're at when it comes down to your own personal self-reliance?
Oh, today?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, today I'm definitely at like a eight, eight,
Okay.
9, because, it's a one thing that I realized, and no one taught me this. I
Right.
realized that self love is a daily journey. So I'm gonna say this one more time. Self love is a daily journey. It's not one of those things where you just snap a finger, you go to therapy one day, and the next day, no. It's a daily journey, and it's one of those things where, you know, ultimately, I got to a point where I was just like, I got a book, and I can share it with you. When I began my journey the first time, this was my this is my first journal right here.
Oh, okay.
So this was journal number 1. Journal number one is woo. I might be able to make a book out of this. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, okay.
But this is 2019 journal when I began, really writing how I felt on the
Mhm.
inside, and I started to begin my self work, and I realized it was a daily. It's a daily journey, which means I have to, journal daily. You
Right,
feel me?
right,
You get me?
right.
So because I'm on a new leaf, you feel me? That one, it's just all pretty. It has no letters in the beginning. It has nothing. It's just pretty on the outside.
Gotcha.
But my 2020 vision said has a new thing. Good vibes only.
Right.
You feel me? Good vibes only.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
2020 is literally basically the format for me, basically saying, you know what? I need to just be on some, quality people. You know what I'm saying? Only.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
People who who are really there for me, who really, and also me being, it's not a one-way street. People that I'm there
Right.
for actually reciprocating. We got a nice balance of a relationship. I
Right. Right.
give and I get. You know,
Right.
when I give, I get. So it's that
Right.
reciprocating, positive, mutual relationship.
Right.
So, that's the Good Bible Only book. And that's the 2020 journey. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, as, self love is a constant journey, man. It's because we constantly deal with adversity, from one day to the next. So
Right.
it's one of those things where, you get better over time, and then you pray and you ask God to help you move forward. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because, as even with the therapy sessions that I've had, you know, it's just not enough. You may see
Of
them
course.
once or twice a week, or,
Right.
once or twice every 2 weeks, or whatever the case may be. But what happens when you're dealing with adversity every day? When you're dealing with
Right.
work adversity, relationship adversity, self adversity, where you're dealing with, I'm driving down the street and I get into a car accident adversity, where you're dealing with the lady at the gas station and she didn't
Right.
cuss you out, or
Right.
when you went to go get your carrot cake from Food Lion, they didn't have it. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Right.
So
Right.
it's just
Right.
like, how do you deal with these daily things? And it's, for me, I journal. For me, I write. For me, you know what I'm saying? Where
Right.
I go to counseling, every couple weeks. So it's that still that check in to make sure that I'm still in alignment. I also attend support groups. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's that constant, and I also do things that make me happy. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I didn't even mention that, but it's really about doing things that make me happy. And, the question is, well, what makes me happy? What makes me happy is sometimes taking a walk on the beach, sometimes, what I'm saying, hanging out with friends, sometimes making my own music, sometimes, writing a poem, sometimes going to an open mic night or going to karaoke. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling with a cool person. So it
Right.
really just, traveling, you know what I'm saying? Trying something
Right.
new.
Right. Right.
That's bro, you gave a lot. You've given so much this far. Okay, so tell me. Well, I kind of really want you to kind of go back to a little bit about reciprocation and how reciprocation has uh, been a value in your wealth journey.
I guess, coming from a bias meaning one-sided. So
Mhm.
just having a bias, having biased relationships, one-sided, whether it's, I feel like I'm putting in all this effort, or that person feels like they're putting in all this effort, but ultimately it's not receiving reciprocation. It's
Right.
not receiving what you give. You know what I'm saying? Or if you know what, I feel like I want to take it a step further. Maybe it's only expecting 50%, so that person
Mhm.
only give you 50. You feel me?
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
is your expectation you give me 100, I give you 100? Or is the
Right.
expectation that you only give me half and you only get half?
Right.
Because I can honestly say that I was like, meet me halfway, meet me halfway, meet me halfway. And it's like, no, I first of all, I don't even want half at all. Don't give me half of
Right.
nothing. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna
Right.
give you 100. I need you to give me 100. And if you can't,
Right.
let me know so I can give you these.
Yeah. Okay. That's real. That's real. That's real.
But on the flip side, let's talk about reciprocation for a second. If I can't give you 100, that also means that I have to communicate that information to you. Like it's not a one way, train. It's not, oh, you know what? I'm saying I'm gonna give you 100, but when I can't give you 100, I'm not gonna articulate that. No, if I can't give you 100, I'm gonna say, you know what, sweetie? Right now, I'm just not in a space to give you 100.
Right.
But if you're willing to take this 50, just understand that all I can give is 25.
Mm.
And if you're willing to put in 25, we understand that this too only give half of whatever we got going on, or a quarter.
Right.
So let's just be open to this quarter relationship that we can only give to one another. You feel me?
Right. Right.
But I'm open now to communicate that, because right now I'm at a quarter. You feel me?
Absolutely.
Or a tenth. You feel me? I can only give you a dime. You feel me right now?
Right.
But I'm also communicating that I can only give you a dime. You feel me? That's all I can give you right now. I can't. So there's 9/10 of me that you can't get. I'm just being honest. If that's where I am, I have to communicate that.
You do. You do.
And that's all. And that's what reciprocation is about. It's about being able to communicate wherever you are, so that the people, they know what they're getting themselves into, so they can articulate to you whether they want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, now that I think about it, this is more than just reciprocation. This is about communication and figuring out and compromise. This is what I have.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And being truthful in what you have. That's the other part of it. Before you can even talk about reciprocation, communication, or giving or receiving, you gotta operate with integrity within yourself. Be truthful with yourself and knowing exactly where you're at and what you're willing to give and what you have the capacity to give. You know.
Absolutely.
Cool. So let's see. So tell me how important faith has been to your wealth journey.
I would say faith is 100% of my journey. You feel me? Because I think it's just, I guess it's the beginning of my journey, meaning, understanding that God leads me,
Right.
God protects me,
Right.
and that when I tried to figure it all out myself, I failed.
Man, that's exactly what happens every time. You just
Yes. So I had to figure out, I was like, well, am I going to continue to fail, or I'm going to be led by God? You feel me? And I'm going to just have him to, because I realized when you're aligned with God,
right.
And I want to just, before I continue this, I want to let you know that I'm not trying to convert nobody to Christ. Your journey is your journey, my journey.
Your choice is your choice. Yes, exactly.
Thank you so much. That's perfectly said. Your choice is your choice.
Right.
But when you're aligned with God, he's going to lead you in his direction.
In my experience. Right.
Exactly. So, his direction in my life has been the best choice.
Right.
Because I saw myself fall, and then I looked, and I went crawling back to God, like, Lord, can you please help me? And now I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to fight this one, God.
Right.
Because I don't want to see the wrath no more. I know what the wrath looks like. It's a dark path.
Right. Right. That's exactly what happens. And then I will say this also, once we get to a place of submitting, because a lot of times what happens is that because we are thinking that we're in control but have no control, you end up messing stuff up. You mess up situations, you mess up circumstances, you mess up relationships, you mishandle money or anything, everything. You just mishandle because there's no leadership over your life, and that's really difficult to do when you think that you're the only leader. Like, it's like you can't take wisdom from anybody, you can't take insight from anybody. It doesn't just come down to like, oh, I believe in God, I believe in this mystic being or anything of that nature. It's no, how do I submit my life and what happens in alignment with my submission. Even when it comes down to a supervisor, you have to serve before you can lead. And once you have established some type of training, some type of experience within a particular avenue or within whatever your purpose or your call is, then you can assist people that's behind you. But you end up messing up everything if you don't have anybody that is over you or that can cover you in your ignorance, because that's what one of the things that I see my belief in God as, is a covering in my ignorance, because I know absolutely nothing. A wise man knows that he knows nothing at all. So I really appreciate that. Nick, guy, man, you're amazing. You're amazing. What does your legacy work look like for you?
I would say, I'm actually going to take a moment to think about this.
Okay. Take your time.
My legacy, as a matter of fact, I got this on my vision board.
Okay.
I created, so here go my big old vision board. You feel me?
I got you.
But, you know, I got my future goals right here.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things is to become a businesswoman. You know what I'm saying? And then to actually, I really want a nonprofit. Mm. I really want to, I've done a lot of, and I do this every Christmas, actually. I'm going to start my advertisement for it on in August to give people the opportunity to bring awareness about what I like to do, which is I like to just make meals, like little sandwiches, and literally hand them out to the homeless. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing that for the last 2 years, and I want to keep that going. And it's crazy how a lot of times we think that we have to have this huge budget, but a lot of times you just ask people for $5-10, or even, can you know what I'm saying? Or can you even Amazon it to my address? Right. And then I'll get it. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, you can Amazon me water. You can Amazon me some corn. Right. You can Amazon me, you know what I'm saying, some non-perishables. Right. Or you could be like, bro, I ain't going to go get nothing. Let me just cash app you, whatever the case may be. But I definitely I love how food pantries work in the community. Right. I've done a lot of, I've volunteered at a lot of food pantries in Los Angeles. I volunteered at the Midnight Mission in Skid Row in downtown Los Angeles. I also, you know, my family and I went down there to Skid Row to serve out 200 meals. Dope. You know what I'm saying? Amazing. So we went out there by ourselves. Right. So, you know, that was just, it's just a part of my personal mission. Right. And, you know, I want to be able to create a pantry. That's my future goal. Right. So ultimately, it's like, okay, realistically speaking, this is what I do understand. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? In order to give, you gotta make money. True. You know what I'm saying? Money just doesn't pop out of thin air, and you're like, okay. So I do have a nonprofit heart. Mm-hmm. I understand that if I want to give at a large scale, which that's what I really want to do ultimately, then I have to make money. You know what I'm saying? Like, realistically speaking. So at some point, I definitely want to get into real estate because, you know, when you talk about building a legacy, I want to build really, now that I think about it, just popped in my head. As a college graduate, I have my bachelor's degree in sociology. One of the biggest challenges that we face as college students or college graduates is not being afforded new opportunities in the workforce because they're not hiring new grads a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And this is not every single business, but this is a challenge that a lot of college graduates face straight up. Right. So with that being said, I really want to create some type of business that hires new graduates. Right. Okay. Basically, I want to mold them so that they can get bigger opportunities. Because ultimately, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like whether it's a paid internship type of situation, or even, you know, or if it's just a regular job. They may be like, yeah, I like working for you. This is my field. I want to be here. Right. But I don't get other opportunities. I'm looking for a company that hires new graduates. It's going to be my company.
Right.
Because I was that college grad that was on a job hunt, and I found myself fell short a lot.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, how could you think like, man, you've been applying for a job for a whole year and didn't even get a call back?
Wow.
Or a job that don't even pay more than $9 an hour, and I live in Los Angeles.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, man, how is this happening?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's, unfortunately, I want to be the person that's hiring new grads straight up, because it's hard out here for us. Because 6 months later, you know how these federal loans work. 6 months later, you know what I'm saying? You got to pay your loans back.
Right.
But if you don't have a job, if nobody's giving you an opportunity, you can't even get work experience.
Right.
And what about those people like myself, who's an earner and a learner?
Right.
Earner and learner meaning that you work and you go to school.
Right.
So you may do, like, for example, me, I did security, you know what I mean? But I was getting my education and sociology. They're not intertwined.
Right.
They're like, well, we want you to have customer service, or we want you to have, social work. It's like, but I don't have that. Right. I have security experience. So it's like, well, how can you translate that into a new opportunity?
Right.
If you can't get no work experience. So basically, my legacy has open arms for, new grads, for people who are out there that's struggling, who's trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? People who are out there for my nonprofit organization that one day will be here. Because I'm manifesting it. It's on my vision board, so it's happening.
Right.
So, and also having my food pantry, because, it's a lot of people out there that don't have food. Right. And I feel like, I can't do everything, but if I can give you some food, God said, if a man is hungry, give him food. If a man is thirsty, give him water. If I can do the bare minimum, you know what I'm saying, right there, you know what I'm saying, I feel like, I'm taking a step, to further our somebody's community. Right. And, hopefully it's ours, because I want my food pantry in our community, people who look just like us. Right. It won't be like, I'm not closing off the door to other people. I'm just saying that I want to cater to our community first. That's what I'm saying.
Right. You take care of your house. You have to have revival in your home before you have revival in your community. Amazing. Okay, cool. So with the last question, what's your definition of wealth?
My definition of wealth is, it's me. If I'm okay, my family gonna eat. Right. If I work hard, my family gonna eat. If I push, my family gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? Which means that I gotta take care of my mental health, my physical health. You know what I'm saying? My psychological health. You feel me? Like emotional health. Like I gotta really take care of myself on a daily basis, because whether I have 15 cents or $50 million, billion, $trillion. You know what I'm saying? If I don't feel well, I'm not wealthy. You know what I'm saying? It's like, my spiritual being must be wealthy in my mind. Right. In order for me to be financially wealthy. Because to me, wealth is not just financial. Right. It's physical, it's emotional, it's psychological. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's mental, it's the whole package. Right. So if in my mind, it's your whole self. You know what I'm saying? We are wealth. I should say we are wealth. Without, there would be no wealth. You feel me? So it's that understanding that, we got to tend to self first. You feel me? If going back to initially, if you put on your safety mask, you can't help nobody. Right. So, I got to put on my safety mask. And my safety mask includes God leading my life. Mm-hmm. My safety mask includes me stripping away my self-destructive behavior so I can allow myself to be led by God, so I can do the work of God, so that I can, start telling myself yes to my talents, start saying yes to my ideas, start saying yes to my inventions, to start saying yes to my goals, to start saying yes to my dreams. And, I'm not just preaching to self, I'm also preaching to the choir for those people who also, see we in their wealth. You know what I'm saying? Because ultimately, it's about building a community, building a support system. Because while I'm saying self is important, I also understand the importance of support.
Right.
Because
Relationship.
it's a part.
Right.
It takes a village. It takes a village, no matter if you're a child, an adult, a teenager, it takes a village, which means you need that support system, that each person in your ecosystem matters. Right. So, if, my definition of wealth is all of that, what I said. It's me being a part of my ecosystem, and it's the support system around my ecosystem. And it's I guess if I could draw it out, which I can't draw it out, but it'll be, me in the middle, it'll be my ecosystem around it, and it'll be God, who's literally, you feel me? If you can imagine myself being led, you know what I'm saying? Everybody being led by God, you know what I'm saying? Doing his works, you feel me? Because we all have great ideas, you know what I'm saying? But, if you don't have the blessing of God, you know what I'm saying? That's going to sprinkle it over, because basically he's your protector, he's your strength, you know what I'm saying? He's your guidance, you know what I'm saying? So, and by the way, if you are not religious, you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to put my religion on you at all, or my spirituality on you. But this is my journey, and this is me telling you my journey. And hopefully, if you can get inspired by it, thank you.
Right.
If not, I still wish you the best, boo.
Yeah. Period. I couldn't have said it better, man. Nick, like, wow. Such an amazing thing, man. Like, I completely love your spirit, and I really look forward to seeing how our relationship develops over time. You're such a wise individual, very wise counselor. And thank you for showing up today. Thank you so much for being a part of Wealth Talk TV. You made it so much better.
Thank you so much. What I want to say to you is thank you for the platform. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for reaching out to me, because, and I actually talked about this on one of my episodes of Chapter 2 Nick podcast. I talked about how a lot of masculine presented women, I don't know why, this stud on stud thing. And it's like a lot of times we got to just break those barriers and, you know what I'm saying, get to know the person on the inside and then connect with them. Because a lot of times you may be missing out on greatness because of our mindset sometimes. Sometimes our mindset is limiting, and if you have a limiting mindset, you know what I'm saying, sometimes you won't be able to see, you may be missing out on new opportunities. You know what I'm saying? So thank you so much for allowing me to be on this platform. Thank you so much for lifting me up, my sis. Thank you so much for speaking positivity over me. Thank you so much. And if I haven't already, I would like to do the same for you. You are magnificent. You are wealthy. You know what I'm saying? You are worthy. You are more than enough. You are powerful. You are great. You have greatness within you, and you are a masterpiece. You are exactly what God has intended you to be, and that is beautiful as is. You need no adjustments. So thank you, my sis, for allowing me to share on your platform with me. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. Like, wow. All right, you guys, like, thank you so much for being a part of this wealthy day. I hope you guys have a wealthy one as well. My day is already wealthy. All right, I'm gonna hit you up, all right?
All right, thank you so much. Peace and love.